My guest today is Julianne Mitchell, New South Wales Director of the Cardiovascular Health Programs at the Heart Foundation. Welcome to In Her Shoes.
Oh, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. You have a degree in women's health.
Yes.
You were also a nurse.
Yes.
So you've had a very interesting career that led you to what you're doing today. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. I certainly started working in women's health. I was interested in that area, but felt it was important to do nursing as well, to have a full understanding of the importance of health generally. I felt the best way that I could use that, both the nursing and the women's health, was to move into community health areas so that I could work on promoting the importance of women's health to others.
You've been with the Heart Foundation for 4 years now.
Yes.
Tell me about your role within that organisation.
The Heart Foundation is committed to improving the heart health of the whole Australian community. So I'm in charge of the health programs that are run through the Heart Foundation, which spans the spectrum of prevention, so the lifestyle ways in which we can reduce our risk, through to the management and ongoing treatment of heart disease. So some of that involves research, some of that involves community programs, and some of that involves working with health professionals.
And obviously you do a lot of programs specifically around women's health.
Indeed.
And we're going to talk about the Go Red program a little later on in today's episode. But one of the things that you did was looked at engaging underserved women in the community, educating them and having them participate in health programs. So going out, those watching may be looking at different markets, but your market was women who didn't know you existed, who didn't know they needed your service. How did you go about getting them to know the value of what you were doing?
Yeah. Look, I think the importance is that you don't preach to women, you talk to them, you motivate them. So we approached looking at champions who could promote our message for us. We went to the places that those women gathered. So whether it was at community centres, clubs, etc. And we actually employed speakers on our behalf to actually communicate those messages. So we felt that that was more important than us ourselves coming in and giving the message. So I think, you know, the key learnings from that was really develop champions, go to the places where women are and break down the messages so that they're simple, that they connect. Certainly we found that having stories, you know, people who'd actually come through an experience of whether it's heart disease or cancer or whatever, and telling their story was a great motivator to other women to take steps to look after their health.
I think regardless of the industry that anyone watching might be in, finding champions, telling the stories of other customers, testimonials, going to where your customer is, that's all applicable to them as well. The other thing that's applicable, that was what you came up against, was that after the GFC, the way that you had to motivate your own task force changed because perhaps the dollars weren't in the bank to do what some of the other things you were doing before were. So tell us about the programs you developed around health.
Yeah, absolutely. As the Heart Foundation, we promote healthy messages, lifestyle, physical activity, healthy eating. We felt that, you know, our staff needed to walk the talk, and whilst after the GFC there was a lot of concern, a lot of angst about what the implications of that was. As a not-for-profit, we weren't in a position to offer money, but we felt we needed to improve morale, and so we introduced a workplace program. It was a very simple program. We have 80 staff in our New South Wales office. We divided them into house teams, not unlike
like school.
Yes, that's right. And the senior staff, like myself, we were the captains or the leaders of those health teams, and we competed against each other around the theme of mind, body, spirit. And so what we focused on was opportunities to be more physically active in our workplace, to walk at lunchtime, to have walking meetings, to stand up when you answer the phone, so that we do small incremental things to improve our physical activity rates. We also looked at nutrition, what we could do to improve our catering when people came to the Heart Foundation, but we also taught simple skills around healthy eating at lunchtime to our staff, Thirdly, we focused on the spirit, and so we had meditation classes, yoga classes, we did social activities within the workforce, such as mini Olympics to compete against the 4 teams, race around the world activities. That really we built into the workday so that staff could see that actually we valued them, and that we as senior managers felt that it was important people engage in physical activity in the workplace as much as the messages we're promoting outside.
And absenteeism, as we know, costs businesses, a lot of money every year. And when it's a small business, the impact of someone being away because they're unwell is even greater than in a large corporation where perhaps there's someone to cover their place. You've developed programs that any size organisation can now use. But first I want to ask about stress and its impact on heart health, especially for women, because there are some alarming statistics.
Absolutely, particularly around depression. Depression is a risk factor for heart disease, and so, the importance of good social connections and well-being is an important way in which to reduce heart disease risk. And so 2 of the programs that we offer at the Heart Foundation are really focused on physical activity, but also the benefit of group activity. The first is our Heart Foundation walking program. We have over 16,000 walkers across Australia. Here in New South Wales, we have about 160 walking groups. And the great advantage of that is women coming together to walk, but also having that connection twice a week. And great friendships have developed out of those programs. We also have an exercise program for older men and women called Heart Moves, which again is about people coming together for gentle exercise twice a week, but then staying on to have coffee or lunch afterwards. And so it's very important that women do attend not only to their physical health, but also their emotional well-being. And certainly engaging in physical activity, group activities, is one way to do that.
With the health program that you have developed, which is coming up, which I want to talk about, which is an annual event, the Healthy Heart Challenge, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about how that works, and then what I want to look at is how, regardless of what size business you are, perhaps you can take part in it or take aspects of it.
Absolutely.
Because there are some bottom line results which I want you to tell us about as well. But let's start by talking about what the program is.
Sure. So, heart disease is the #1 killer of Australian women. 4 times as many women will die of heart disease as they will of breast cancer. So it's an important issue, and our message is that women should be as vigilant about their heart health as they are about their breast health. However, when we surveyed women said, look, they certainly knew that they needed to eat more healthily, to be more physically active, but what they didn't know was how to. And they wanted simple, everyday tips and ideas to integrate into their lifestyle. And so it was from that we developed a 10-week personal challenge. And what this is a commitment to focus on one aspect of our lives, whether it's to be more physically active every day or to eat more healthily every day, and then to do that over a 10-week period. Our target is to have 20,000 women across Australia sign on for that. It starts on the 1st of June, and women are encouraged to go online to our website, goredforwomen.org.au, to sign on. It's free, and what will happen is that we will send weekly reminders, tips and strategies on how to stay healthily, to eat healthily if that's your target, or to be more physically active. And when we're talking about that, we're talking about the simple things, about choosing to take the stairs instead of the escalator, to switch to low-fat flat whites instead of a megachino. It really is the small practical things, because women tell us they're too busy, they don't have time to go to gyms or take on those bigger commitments. But this is very much centred on the everyday, and what we're finding is that workplaces are seeing this as a great way to integrate into their wellness programs. So,
and what's the payoff, if for lack of a more glamorous word than that? As an employer, what's in it for me to promote better health, other than obviously the absenteeism? There's some bottom line results.
Oh, absolutely. Certainly from our wellness program, we we had a 33% reduction in sick leave over the 12-month period that we implemented it. We also had a 5% reduction in turnover, staff turnover. Added to that, morale, satisfaction with the job, improved communication amongst the team members. You know, like any organisation, we have different departments. We tend to stick to our own. By breaking up and forcing people to go into our 4 teams, people were having conversations for the first time, and it really did improve morale, and it certainly had. The knowledge of our wellness program has gone through the health sector, and people are contacting us regularly to integrate this into their workplace.
Great. Well, congratulations on the work that you do, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.